Arroyo Grande softball is undefeated and dominating at the start of the season, sitting at 7-0. One player is a big part of that success, but it's her story that's making the success even sweeter. Meet Riley Osborne, the starting left fielder for the Arroyo Grande Eagles.
I started playing t-ball when I was 4. I liked the aspect where it was a team game, but it was also like you could play individually.
We're one of the best softball programs this year on the Central Coast, and we're trying to become one of the best in the state, and I believe Riley's a big part of that.
And she's amazing in the outfield, a huge help in the outfield, and she has great speed around the bases, which is super helpful.
Riley shows out even with a little bit of a disadvantage.
My teammates treat me just the same as everybody else. They forget a lot that I have one arm, and it's kind of funny sometimes for this interview. They're like, why are they interviewing you? And I was like, because I play softball with one arm. And they're like, oh, I forgot.
Us as a coaching staff, we don't view her any different. We don't treat her any different. And until other schools or coaches point it out, we kind of forget the fact that she's only got one arm. To us, she's our starting left fielder. She's going to have 3 great years up here at varsity, and we don't treat her or view her any different.
The journey to playing varsity ball wasn't always easy, especially when it came to hitting. At a young age, she got a hitting coach to learn how to hit with one arm.
Hitting is the biggest challenge. It's a two-hand motion, right? So you had to I had to figure out if I wanted to go on the right side or left side. So that was a challenge. Also another one was when I was fielding, and it pops out of my glove a lot when I'm fielding. So I had to work on trying to keep it in my glove, the ball.
Jim Abbott, who played professional baseball with one arm, is Riley's biggest inspiration.
He's shown that you can play with a difference and that you can get to the next level no matter what your difference is. And I always never thought I could get as good as these girls, but he's shown that it is possible, and he's shown ways that you can do it.
Little does she know that she's inspiring people on and off the field every day.
She'll make plays in that outfield that are unbelievable defensive plays, and that pumps all the girls up.
In life, you can do other things, even if you have a little bit of a disability or disadvantage. You can always find a way. Everything that I do, it just takes a little bit more effort, but you can find a way for everything.
Reporting for KSBY Sports, I'm Casey Busher.
It's such an inspiring young lady. Now, still ahead in our next half hour, tax season has been delayed this year. What other tax changes are coming later this spring?
Plus, President Biden's proposed infrastructure bill would include billions for water problems in the U.S. Look at how bad problems have become nationwide.
One child at a time.
In his first 100 days in office, President Biden held a press conference today announcing new sanctions on Russia over its interference in the 2020 election. The president spoke from the East Room of the White House and called for de-escalation with the country. He has approved steps, including the expulsion of several officials and blacklisting of 6 Russian technology companies. He spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin earlier this week and said he proposed a summit in Europe for the 2 leaders to meet in person.
I was clear with President Putin that we could have gone further, but I chose not to do so. I chose to be proportionate. The United States is not looking to kick off a cycle of escalation and conflict with Russia. We want a stable, predictable relationship. If Russia continues to interfere with our democracy, I'm prepared to take further actions to respond.
32 people and entities involved with the 2020 election interference have been sanctioned. 10 employees from the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. will be expelled as well. Under normal circumstances, today would be the deadline for filing your taxes, but the last year has been anything but normal. The IRS announced 1 month ago that the deadline for filing your taxes moved to May 17th. Estimated tax payments are still due today, but if you are filing a return, you still have 1 more month to get those to the IRS. State taxes in California are due by May 17th as well. The IRS also announced families will start receiving child tax credit payments in July. The checks are part of the COVID relief package approved in March. The monthly payments will range between $500 and $3,600 depending on the age and custody of the child. President Biden's infrastructure bill would include billions in spending on improving water systems. Joe St. George takes a closer look at the issue, one that's often unnoticed until it's too late.
To find out how serious this country's water problems are,
Come on in.
it helps to speak with an engineer. And when it comes to reforming infrastructure, why not go to a town where it's literally in the name? Jonathan Bonner is in charge of water in Reform, Alabama.
So this is actually the well itself.
Bonner, who's been an engineer for 37 years, is explaining to us the infrastructure crisis that's facing his town and cities across the country.
It's in pretty rough shape right now.
His problems going well beyond physical rust or the duct tape. The city recently filmed what it looks like underground. That crud isn't supposed to be there, and while it gets filtered out before it reaches homes, it's still a sign things are getting worse.
They're relying on me. They're relying on the city to make sure this works in order to give them good, safe, clean drinking water.
Recently, Bonner's felt the pressure. In January, a car crashed into a hydrant, completely draining the town's water tank. Weeks later, cold weather created 21 separate leaks. Again, the town's water was gone. The worst issue may have been in October when this plant caught on fire. Bonner had to call the fire chief and actually tell him this.
Y'all are either going to have to stop putting water on your fire, or the town's not going to have any water.
What's happening here is happening across the U.S. The American Society of Civil Engineers estimates a water main break happens every 2 minutes somewhere in this country. In fact, so much treated water is lost every day through leaks and bad pipes. 9,000 swimming pools could be filled. At Sweet Tea's restaurant, customers telling us you don't appreciate water until it's gone. Some people here went weeks without bathing.
The showers, cooking food, the children brushing their teeth, simple things we take for granted.
Water, a key part of the debate beginning to unfold in Washington. President Biden wants to raise corporate taxes, which many Republicans say is risky economically, to pay for infrastructure reform. He wants to spend $111 billion on fixing the country's water supply.
The whole town was out of water.
That is a debate Reform's Mayor Melanie Davis